Reggie White, an amazing player. We were, as everyone knows, we were the luckiest team to get him. We weren't even in the running for most major sports writers, as you all know. And if I remember correctly, Holmgren called him up and said, Reggie, this is God.
Yeah.
You need to play in Lambeau with the Packers. And I don't know if that's convinced him, but I'm sure that helped. But I happened to be at the game when Reggie was still a Philadelphia Eagle. And it was at County Stadium. I was sitting way in the upper deck at County Stadium. And it was November 15th, 1992. Reggie sacked Brett in the first half and gave him a first-degree separation of his shoulder. Brett came back and played the whole game. I can't remember if he's out a couple plays, but he came back and played the rest of the game with a separated shoulder. Reggie was so amazed by that and so couldn't believe the guy came back from this. This guy's a tough kid, this Brett Favre. Well, I think that helped him, along with Holmgren telling him he was God, that to bring him to Green Bay, that they had something going on very special, which we did. Well, this ticket is the ticket I got, County Stadium. It's the last game that was ever played by the Packers at County Stadium. And it was exactly the date, December 18th, 1994. I was at the game.
All right.
And it was a little muddy game, but that's a game that Brett Favre, I think it was third down with not much time left, and Mike Holmgren said, don't run it, you got to pass the football, so at least if it's incomplete and not a touchdown, we can kick a field goal and tie it. So it was third down. I think they were on the 12-yard line, 10-yard line. Anyways, Brett rolls out to the right, couldn't find anybody, running in, and there's film of Holmgren just going crazy. What are you doing? And he runs in and he dives in the end zone. And I watched the play a few times, and even with replay, he was in, but it wasn't by much. But anyway, so Brett got in the end zone, last game at County Stadium. Well, I was at there used to be a gentleman that had a Packer City antique store, and he had a lot of really interesting mementos from games and players. Well, he had the pair of Reggie's shoes that he wore at this last game at County Stadium. I said, "You're going to sell them?" He said he didn't really want to because his son wanted it. Well, he said,
How did he get them?
To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I don't know. He had an inside.
Okay.
John Carpenter, his name was.
Okay.
Nice guy. I love him. I hope he's doing well because that was back in, like I said, probably 95.
Yeah.
So I don't know how he got some of these things, but he got some like jerseys, pants, a lot of shoes. And I said, I'd love to have that Reggie White shoe. And it was autographed. Well, he broke down. His son, I'll give my son one, and I have one. And I have one in my possession.
All right. Well, let's
it's
see.
in my Packer room. And hopefully it shows up all right.
And here we're entering the inner sanctum here. This is neat stuff, Frank.
Well, thank you very
Wow.
much. Here's the shoe. It even has mud on it.
Look at that.
And at the bottom of the cleats, there's still mud on it from County Stadium.
There it is.
I went, and it isn't exact proof, but I videotaped every game that I went to, VHS tapes. Well, I watched the video of that game best I could. They're not zooming in on the Reggie's shoe, but it wasn't. I hate to say it, but a Nike shoe. That was that shoe. So I mean, and it was a muddy game. So I'm 99.999% sure that is the exact shoe that Reggie wore to the last